Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Walsh.
Hello, Stacy. How are you?
I'm good. Mr.
Good.
Green, can you hear me?
Hello, Stacy.
Hello, Mr. Garcia.
How
We're
are you?
trying to, Mr. Green is having some audio difficulties. Hold on, please.
Hey guys, Mr. Zanetti.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Mr. Zanetti.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Miss Walsh.
Hello. By the way, happy retirement, Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Thank you, Miss Walsh.
Welcome.
What's going on?
It's official. I'm done.
You're done, Mike?
You got it.
Oh man.
Race to the finish. I win.
You did. Wow. Awesome. Congratulations. Effective like this month or
January 29th was my last day.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Just
that's
wait for
awesome.
that honeydew list.
Yeah, if you're bored, I need some help at Stefan's house in the basement redoing it. So, some electrical, some painting,
You do not want me to touch that.
minor plumbing, nothing big. I just need you to hold a few wires and make sure they're okay.
Mike, if Mary doesn't have a list, Katie's got a list.
You guys are all funny. Like I need another job.
No, retirement's quite the job.
Mhm.
We'll get started in just a second. I'm working with Mr. Green to get his audio fixed.
Hey Stacy, while you're doing that, do we know when we're going to go back to face board meetings? Have we decided?
We're still waiting for the state to allow multiple households to get together.
Uh,
Okay, Mr. Green.
Can you?
Nope. Okay, Mr. Green, try again.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Stace?
I can hear you, but you'll have to mute your computer. Hear you.
Can anybody from the board hear me?
Mr. Zanetti, I can't seem to get Mr. Green's audio to work, and I have no Mr. Schulte. Can you run the meeting for us this evening?
I can,
I will help you.
not a problem. All right, tell me when you're ready to go.
Yep, we're good. So we'll just start with the call to order and then the Pledge of Allegiance.
Very good. Okay, welcome everybody to the board meeting of February 8th, 2021. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We will do the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll just lead the Pledge of Allegiance by myself. Stacy, it's kind of easier. Is that okay?
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 3, agenda approval. Any changes?
Yep, I just have one quick change. If we could flip flop items 10 and 11 The public expression has to go before we vote on the reconfirmation, as we've done in the past few times when we did that. So we just need to switch 10 and 11, please.
Okay.
You have to do roll call.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Kay.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
welcome.
You're right. Sorry, Kay.
It's okay.
Who leads roll call? Do you do that, Kay, or do I do that?
You do that, sir, or I could, either one, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Let's see, start with roll call. Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick here.
Mr. Garcia,
Garcia here.
Mr. Schulte's absent with notice. Mrs. Walsh.
Walsh here.
All right. I have Mr. Hiller.
Hiller present.
Hiller's present. Mr. Green is having audio difficulties. And Mr. Zanetti is in attendance. We have a quorum, yes?
Yes.
All right, very good. Thank you, Kay.
Welcome.
Next is the minutes of the meeting from January 25th, 2021. I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Fitzpatrick makes a motion to accept the January 25th minutes as presented.
So moved by
Motion by-
Walsh.
Very good. Thank you.
Motion by Fitz. I'll repeat those for you, Mr. Zanetti, so you don't have to keep track. So motion
Okay.
by Fitz and support by Walsh.
Okay, any corrections or updates to the minutes? Anybody? Okay, so we'll vote on this. Mr. Fitzpatrick to accept the minutes.
Yes, Fitzpatrick, yes.
Ms. Walsh,
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Mr. Hiller,
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Zanetti, yes. Motion carries. Item 5A, correspondence, parent and community letters regarding football coach. That it's a file only, I believe, Stacy, is that correct?
Correct. You have 4 letters in your packet that we received via email this past week.
Okay.
Mrs.
Thank you, all
Hiller.
board members. Go ahead,
Mrs.
Mr.
Hiller,
Hiller.
motion to file the
Fitzpatrick,
correspondence.
support. Fitzpatrick, support.
We have a motion by Hiller and a support by Fitz.
Okay. Any commentary on the correspondence from the board? Nope, seeing none. Mr. Hiller,
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Mr. Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Ms. Walsh,
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Zanetti, yes. Motion to file the correspondence carries. Item 6, payment of the bills. Ms. Walsh,
Yes, tonight we're going to pay the following bills. General Fund, $436,027.33. Center Programs, $1,540.25. Food Service Fund, $39,169.80. Child Care Fund, $1,407.11. Bond 2018, $296.70. And bond 2020 Series 1, $8,751.
thank you, Ms. Walsh.
Welcome.
Motion for the payment of the bills, please.
Support by Hiller.
Walsh
So we have
and
the
Hiller.
motion by Walsh and support by Hiller.
Any questions on the payment of the bills?
This is Mr. Garcia. I have just some clarification.
Sure, Mr. Garcia, go ahead.
And this is again, help me learn a little bit more as to what some of these items are comprised of. In the general fund, we have a T-Mobile bill for $2,500 for student hotspots. How many students are we servicing with hotspots right now? Do we know?
Yep, I'll ask Mr. Cassaban to let us know the number on that.
That invoice covers 125 hotspots that are currently available to be checked out to students. We've had some come and go. I think currently at this moment, we have 97 in the hands of students.
Okay, and I understand this is a recurring monthly fee?
Yes, that's a monthly bill that we will receive.
Paige, I'm in a board meeting.
Okay. Thank you for that. The other question I have was with regard to, let me pull it up here. The HPS licensing, I understand who HPS is. I was just wondering if the annual license fee is based on the size of our district, or is it based on how much food they manage for us over the course of a school year? I was just curious as to how the licensing fee is established.
Are you looking at a HPS as in Hewlett Packard, or is it the HPS?
That's in the food service.
Okay, so that's part of the consortium bidding. So that's an annual fee. That invoice there is an annual fee, and it's based on volume that we use in terms of purchasing equipment through that bid consortium.
Okay, that was my question in terms of just how they calculated the annual fee. I think I had a third question. Oh, I was just
Kevin.
I'm sorry. One last question, if I could.
Sure.
In the general fund, we had an invoice for $21,800 for the Kids Read Now program. That looks like, is that a monthly fee, or is that just an annual subscription, or what period does that cover?
Can you tell me what page that one is on?
That is on page 10 of page 10 of the general fund. Item 115181. Oh, that's the check number. I'm sorry.
So
Hello?
that's the annual license fee
Okay.
that we're paying, and that's being funded out of one of our grants as a way to help with our kids in terms of learning loss, particularly during the pandemic right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I was just, again, my curiosity was more out of just some clarification as to what some of these items meant and how they were being billed out and what they were for. So I appreciate that, Mr. Kesselbaum. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay, do we need to take a vote on that, Stacy, or did we already take the vote?
We had a motion by Walsh and support by Hiller, so now we need to do the roll call.
Okay, very good. Okay.
Hey,
Ms. Walsh?
Mr.
sorry,
Zanetti,
Mr.
real
Miller?
quick. Yeah,
Yes.
real quick before. Just piggyback on Mr. Garcia there. I had the T-Mobile devices, the hotspots, that is being reimbursed per se from CARES Act money, correct?
Yes, we are charging that to one of the federal pandemic grants fund sources.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, thank you. That's it.
Thank you,
No
gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Hiller.
Yeah, thank
Any
you.
other questions? Okay. Ms. Walsh?
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Hiller?
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Mr. Garcia?
Garcia, yes.
Mr. Zanetti, yes. Motion carries. Item 7A, old business, nothing. Item 8A1, student reps. We have them online today.
Yep, let me check real quick, Mr. Green. Nope, I thought maybe we had him, but we don't. Mr. Green, can you hear us? Nope. Let's see, do we have Kara? I see Kara and Hannah.
Hello.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Welcome to the meeting.
Doing good. Doing good. So, we have a few things to share today, which is exciting.
Yay.
Awesome.
So Mr. Henshaw's leadership class has started a new project that hopefully is going to get the entire student body involved. So recently, Mojo from Mojo in the Morning had heart surgery. And given that he's helped us with like homecoming and families in need at Tower, we felt that it was our turn to give back. So we're having staff and students write out get well cards on hearts. And we also made it to where students online can fill out a Google form. And once all those forms are turned in, students in leadership are going to transfer those onto hearts as well, so everybody can be involved.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very
Oh,
cool.
that's great. Very good.
Michigan finally got the okay for winter sports to start back up, and the boys basketball program will kick off the season on Friday, taking on Anchor Bay.
Also, Melanie Lucas and Kara Sanders both received the CTE Outstanding Senior Award today, so that's exciting.
Aw,
Yes. Congratulations, Kara. And I think that video has been posted.
Oh, I'll have to look. I didn't know.
So yeah, and I will make sure that we tweet that out and whatnot. It goes in alphabetical order. So if you want to get to Warren Woods, you got to scroll all the way. I think it's like 1 hour and 12 minutes into the presentation, but she's on there. So that's
Thank
good.
you.
All right.
And then
Congratulations.
thank you. And then Campus Corner is doing their annual rose sale for Valentine's Day. And also, I just want to share some exciting news that I got for college. I've been interested in this leadership program at Central, and I applied, and I got picked to be in like the interview process to hopefully get into the leadership college on Sunday, February 21st. So I just wanted to share that good news with you guys because I'm super excited.
that's awesome. Good for you.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Thank
She's-
you.
Good luck.
Congratulations.
Yes,
She's
congratulations.
being modest because there were over 3,000 applicants and they've narrowed it down to 80, of which Kara is one of those 80.
That is
So
awesome.
Way to go, Kara.
Thank you. That's all we have for you guys. Do you guys have any questions for us?
For the Anchor Bay game, is that home, Stacy, or away?
It is
The
home.
basketball?
It's
Yay.
home.
Awesome. So what are
What
we
time
doing?
is it?
How are they managing the fans and all that? I heard it was only
I'm
one
pretty-
parent per player or something.
I'm
or?
pretty sure they're allowing, I think Kutchow is allowing 2 spectators per athlete
Okay,
Correct.
right now. Yeah.
good. Okay, well that's good. Awesome. All right. Well, that's a good sign. Good news, ladies.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to
Yeah.
have you guys tell us what's going on in the school. We appreciate your efforts. Thank you again.
Thank you
Thank you
guys.
guys.
Thank you, ladies.
Awesome. Okay, that was just a report. Item 8A2, student achievement updated extended COVID-19 learning plan.
Yes, this is just our quick update. This time around for our recommitment. Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this one will be a quick one because we have no changes to recommend for the month of February. So just as a reminder, we have to hold these reconfirmation hearings once per month, and it's required to be voted on every 30 days. How we are offering instruction for the 2021 school year. We present this, then we open it up for public comment, and then we will vote on it after we've had that public comment. In addition, during this, we review our weekly two-way communication rates. Oh dear. So what we are recommending for February are no changes. So what we've started, as you remember, for second semester, we have welcomed those who want to return to in-person learning to the buildings at all levels. And we are continuing on that for February. Our weekly two-way communication interaction rates continue to be in the 99th to 100s. You'll see we have a couple hundreds for a few of those weeks at some of the buildings. So I can't thank our staff enough, whether it be classroom teachers who are reaching out, counselors, social workers, principals, making sure that we're making those connections with students during this time, especially for the approximately 45% that are joining us virtually. And then just to cover the next steps, we have no school on Monday, February 15th and Tuesday, February 16th. It is our midwinter break. Our administration team will be meeting over the next week or so to develop a timeline for any fourth quarter changes. As you know, we had asked parents what they wanted for third quarter, and it's already time to start planning for fourth quarter in case any of the families want to return in person for that. And our next recommitment will be March 8th, and hopefully we'll have an update about that fourth quarter.
Okay, that was a report. Any questions for Ms. Dunaway? And then we'll vote on that later in the meeting, right, Stacy? At the
Correct,
end?
after the public expression.
Yeah, item 10, that's now item 11. Okay.
Yes.
Very good, very good. Got it. Okay. All right, item 8B, it's a bid award, bid pack number 1A. Neil, are you going to take us through this one?
Yes. So I'm happy to be able to bring forward tonight the recommendation for bid pack number 1A. This recommendation includes 2 bid awards. This would be the awards for the 2 bid categories that we had rejected back on the January 11th board meeting because the original bids were over our estimated budgets for what those categories should be. So tonight we are recommending a contract for the drywall and ceiling contract, as well as the electrical and auditorium sound and lighting contracts. And these 2 contracts cover all of that scope of work for all of the projects that we had discussed 2 weeks ago during our last meeting. I believe it was well worth the effort that we had gone through to rebid these projects. This bid recommendation, as is $388,639 less than what the original bids had come in before we rejected them. So once again, very happy to bring forward the recommended bidders for the rebid package number 1A. And just like the last round of bids, once we receive these bids in, all of the bidders have been gone through a post-bid interview with Clark Construction, our architect Wakely Associates, and our maintenance and transportation director, Mr. Matt Dishman, also sat in on all of those interviews, and they all bring forward the recommendation that we award these 2 contracts to these bidders.
Okay, I need a motion to accept bid pack number 1A.
Motion by Hiller.
Support by Fitzpatrick.
All right, motion by Hiller, support by Fitzpatrick. Any questions for Neil or comments?
Neil, I had a question. This is Mr. Hiller. The auditorium sound and lighting, does that stage lighting, or is that like the house lighting, the seating and the lobby lighting?
It's the stage lighting and the stage lighting and sound for the middle school auditorium.
Okay, great.
Hey, Neil, I just want to say thank you for, it was the right thing to do to resend this out for a bid. And again, looking out fiscal responsibility for the district. That's important because $388,000 is a significant amount of money for us as we go forward to do this. So that's my dog came in the room with his ball. You got to go outside, dude. Sorry. That's hilarious. So yeah, thank you again, Neil and Matt and everybody who worked on this to rebid this. I think that was an important thing and the right thing to do. So thank you. So, all right, we have a motion by Hiller. We have a second by Mr. Fitzpatrick. Mr. Hiller?
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Ms. Walsh?
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Garcia?
Garcia, yes.
Mr. Zanetta, yes. Motion passes. Item 8C, we have a change order, alternate awards.
Yes, so as part of the bonus of rebidding those 2 bid categories, we are able to now go back and look at some of the bids that we had awarded in the original bid package 1. As part of that bid process, we had asked bidders for some alternate bid pricing. So these are more like items that in a perfect world, we'd be able to afford to do, but not necessarily something that we had to do. So it wasn't included in the base bids that were originally awarded. And we weren't comfortable bringing these forward or making them part of the original bid recommendation without knowing what the prices were going to be on the bid pack 1A rebids. So as we had just talked about, with the significant decrease in pricing that we received on the bid award that we just awarded, it now left just over $265,000 left in our budget for us to go back now and be able to look at some of these items that were included in those original bid awards, and now gives us the opportunity to approve some of those alternate bids and add those on to those contractors from the last board meeting's contract. The first item you have on there is to provide and install an on-site chlorine generation system for the Warren Woods Tower pool. There's a lot of science involved in this, so don't ask me the details of exactly how it works, but it is exactly what it says. We will be able to begin to produce our own chlorine on-site for the Warren Woods Tower pool with the addition of the chlorine generation system, which will obviously have some long-term savings built into it in terms of an operational standpoint. So we would anticipate that moving forward, the general fund would be paying less money in terms of purchasing chlorine because we will be generating that on-site our own. The second item is the recommendation to provide and install a low-pressure ultraviolet light UV disinfection system for the Warren Woods Tower pool. What this will essentially do is run all of the water after it's gone through the filtration process through a UV disinfection process, which will help to kill any additional viruses, particles, anything that algae, everything that happens to be in the water will go through a UV disinfection system before it re-enters the pool system. Item number 3 is the chemical passivation of the stainless steel gutters for the Warren Woods Tower pool. So the gutters on the pools are not being replaced, but this will allow us to go in and actually do a chemical passivation of the stainless steel for the gutters. Basically, it's almost like an acid wash of them, gets rid of any of the rust that's formed on of them, anything that has built up on them. And we don't get a chance to do this all the time because of the acid that will be entering the pool water system. But since the pool water has to be emptied as a part of all of the pool renovations that will be going on this summer, this is our opportunity to do that and clean up all of the gutter systems as part of the pools over at Tower. Item number 4 is to remove the existing plywood soffit and replace with a new perforated metal soffit panel. So this one is related to Briarwood Elementary. We will be replacing the roof over at Briarwood Elementary, and Briarwood is a little bit unique in that it also has, I'm going to share my screen real quick here. It also has the shingles that go around the outside of Briarwood Elementary, and as you can see from the underneath area here, the soffit that currently exists at Briarwood has absolutely no venting in it whatsoever. So we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we're going to put all new shingles around the outside of the building and have them curl and not see their full 30-year life, if not more, without venting. So what this change order does is take out all of the soffit underneath the building, all the way around the building, and we'll be putting in new perforated metal soffit to allow the proper airflow, to make sure that those shingles see their full life expectancy. And then the next item, item number 5, is a change to install new metal wall panel on the exterior face of the canopy at Warren Woods Tower High School. And if I share my screen again. So what we're talking about here is once the new addition goes up, the new secure entryway over at Warren Woods Tower High School, these panels over here to the left-hand side, this change order will replace all of these panels and make them brand new as well. And they will match the panels that, as you approach the building, are the panels that are on the outside of the Jan Sander Auxiliary Gym atrium entrance. That way everything matches on the outside of the building as you approach it. And then the last item that we have, item number 6, which is the alternate that would approve the prep and repainting of the existing Warren Woods Tower tennis court light poles and concrete bases. Included in bid package number 1 is the replacement of the lights themselves, the fixtures on top of the poles. This will just go in and clean up everything so that all of the poles get cleaned up and repainted, as well as the bases for the tennis courts.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept the change order as presented by Mr. Cassaban.
Fitzpatrick makes go ahead and motion for the alternative award bid package 1.
Thank you.
Support by
Second.
by Garcia.
Mr. Garcia, second. Any questions for Neil or comments? Neil, I do have one question on item 6. So I know that we're looking at doing the courts. That's great. But what about the big fencing that surrounds it? Is that in good shape, or is that starting to look rusty and a little bit outdated as well?
Honestly, I was just there this week or last week, and I haven't really stopped and taken a good look at that tennis court fencing in a while, but I know it is not currently included in any of the bid packs that we've awarded.
Okay. Yeah, if we can just take a look at that, and maybe it's an added starter later on when we do have an opportunity. That's one of the items. I'm just trying to remember too. It's been a while since I've driven by that area, but I knew in some areas it was starting to look pretty rusty, but other areas were fine. So just if we could take a look at that, that would be appreciated.
Yes, sir.
So
I think
okay,
this is the
great.
first time we saw a rendition of like the front of Warren Woods Tower. Are we going to see more of those drawings?
Yeah, when we were in person, I have them all being done up, and we would typically have them
Displayed,
set up all throughout the. I'll set up all throughout the through the boardroom for everybody to see. So these are the versions that are getting approved right now to go on boards, and we'll have them being delivered to the buildings as well as having sets here for in the boardroom. As we get them finalized, if we're not allowed to be in person come the next board meeting, we'll find a way to make sure that we get you guys at least electronic versions of the diagrams and renderings so that you can take a look at them as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, that looks sharp.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Any other comments from the board? Okay, Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Mr. Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Mr. Hiller,
Hiller, yes.
Ms. Walsh,
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Zanetti, yes. The change order carries. Item 9A, leaves as presented.
Yes, you have in your packet the request for 4 leaves, 1 from a teacher from Warren Woods Middle School, 1 from a teacher from Briarwood Elementary, 1 from PT at Briarwood and Tower, and 1 from a special ed parapro at Tower.
Entertain a motion to accept the leaves as presented. Mr.
Fitzpatrick. Yep, leaves as presented.
Thank you. Need a second?
Hiller will second.
Any questions or comments for the board? I'm sorry for Mrs. Denowith.
No, that's okay.
I do have one, Stacy. So are we okay to cover the missing staff, or are we gonna have to just move and cover with existing staff?
We have some a little bit in both areas. Some will be covered by current staff, and some we will get substitutes to be covering those classes.
Okay. Got it. Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Ms. Denowith? All right, Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Mr. Hiller,
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Ms. Walsh, Ms. Walsh. Uh-oh. Did we
Uh-oh,
lose her?
I think we lost her.
Mr. Zanetti, yes. Want to give her a second to vote, or we want to just carry the motion since we have 4 of us?
We'll carry it with 4, and then if I see her pop up in the waiting room, I'll let her back in.
Okay, very good. Okay, item.
I am
9.
here. Somehow I lost my connection. Did we vote already on the new
We're waiting
hires?
for you. We're waiting
Yes.
for you to vote.
Okay, did we vote on the leaves, or are you guys already on the new hires?
We just finished, the leaves, we're waiting for your vote.
Walsh, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Item 9B, new hires.
Yes, we have 3 new hires for your approval this evening. One is Bruce King, a custodian for Warren Woods Tower High School. One is Jennifer Phillips, a lunch supervisor for Pinewood. And the third is Gay Wolschlager, a speech pathologist at Briarwood Elementary.
This is Fitzpatrick. Motion to accept the new hires as presented.
Support by Walsh.
Motion by Fitz, support by Walsh. Any questions? Comments? One thing, Stacy and Neil, for the for our custodial staff, I know it's in-house. Has our turnover been higher than normal, or is it just me? I don't know. I always seem to think that we're adding and moving people around, so I'm not sure if that's just the way I'm viewing it, or is it actually happening?
Well, we've also had some retirements this year, so that has led to some additional hires, and it takes a little bit of time for us to work through the bidding process where the internal candidates get to move positions within the buildings before we end up hiring an external candidate. So it does seem like it's been a while, but in many cases, it's just been taking us a while to work through all of the internal moves before we get to the point where we are hiring an external candidate.
Got it, because they can all move up, and then it depends on what chair is left to fill, right? So that's kind of where you have to. Okay, got it. Okay, very good. Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, I have a motion by Fitzpatrick, second by Walsh. Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Ms. Walsh?
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Hiller?
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Garcia?
Garcia, yes.
Mr. Zanetti, yes. If any of our new hires are on the phone, welcome to the Warren Woods team. We appreciate and look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 10, which has been changed on our agenda, is now public expression. Stacy, so you will
Correct.
take over from here?
Yes.
Okay.
So the next item, 10, is public expression. I see we have one person in the waiting room, so I will admit that person and then read the directions. If you wish to participate in public expression, please call the number 646-558-8656 and enter the meeting ID 875-3620-8819. And you can input passcode 020473. When you are admitted to the meeting, we ask you to that you will be called on by the last 4 digits of your phone number. And we ask that you listen to the meeting via the phone so that you can not be concerned about the delay that we have when we stream live to YouTube. So I do see that we have caller 8998.
Yes,
Yes, if you could state your name for the board, please.
Bethany Derringer.
Stephanie?
Bethany with a B.
Oh, Bethany. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
It's fine. I am saying my piece.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. Hello, my name is Bethany Derringer, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on the matter of the football hiring situation. It is apparent that a lot has been said about potential candidates for the varsity football head coaching position. While I feel that much of what is said about the interview process has some merit, a small number of very vocal community members are considering just one side of the story. Some community members took to social media to express their concerns or objections with very limited information on the situation. Unfortunately, many of the posts, letters, and comments made about potential candidates were dismissive, dishonest, and at times disrespectful. I think that it is fair and proper to list a few of the qualifications of applicants that were unfairly deemed unqualified or unable to lead the program forward. Candidate A has 22 years of experience in education, 14 years of successful teaching in Warren Woods Public Schools, general science and chemistry, 22 years as a football coach in some capacity, including head coaching experience at each level, defensive coordinator for the 2002 state runners-up, serves on the board of directors to the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association, and has additional coaching experience, including 6 years as a track and field head coach, 3 years as an assistant varsity basketball coach. Candidate B has 11 years of experience in education, all of it within the Warrenwoods Public Schools. He is a physical education major and a health minor. He has 11 years as football coach within the Towers program. Time as a position coach, defensive coordinator, and head coach. 6 years of junior varsity football head coach and defensive coordinator at Tower. He was the director and lead organizer of the Titan Victory Day community event, class advisor to the class of 2015. He has additional coaching experience in wrestling at Grand Valley State University as an assistant coach for 2 years. He's been an assistant coach for 4 years and co-head coach for 7 years at Warrenwoods Towers wrestling program, and Warrenwoods Middle School's head coach for 5 years. He's also been a track and field coach at Tower as an assistant boys coach for 1 year and girls head coach for 5 years. When considering the resume and credentials of the applications, it should be obvious that these aren't just some teachers who are unqualified or unable to lead a high school football program. Thank you for allowing me the time to educate some community members about the type of men and coaches whose qualifications, credentials, and character were unfairly called into question.
Thank you,
That's all.
Bethany.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Zanetti, I don't see any other callers in the queue.
Okay, very good. Any other public expression from the board members while we have it open? I do have one question, Stacy. Now, you may not have the answer right now, but I'm interested in understand the kind of the communications coming out at the federal level about the return to school requirements and how those will interplay with the state requirements that, you know, are kind of slowly being formulated and put together. And will they be complementary, or will they be kind of contradictory, meaning one wants to do it the other way and one wants to do it this way? And do we become kind of you almost get caught like in the middle, like, well, what do I do? Am I violating federal or am I violating state in order to open safely? So has any of that started to surface recently on the federal level, or is that still way, way out from what you guys know?
I think they're both at the state and federal level. Both sets of government are working on those return to school plans. Right now for us, with the state saying that they want to have some sort of in-person learning in place for all schools by March 1st, we are obviously meeting that. We have been meeting that since September, since we gave parents that opportunity starting in September. So I have no concerns about meeting that mandate. We'll have to see moving forward where we go both at the state and federal level with regard to the testing and a variety of other things that have been brought up. But I know both levels are working. Sometimes they work together and sometimes they don't work in concert with each other. So we'll have to pay close attention to that. Obviously, our state organizations help us manage not only the state, but also the federal information that comes down. And obviously, you know that our ISD is extremely supportive in helping us navigate through all of those requirements.
Okay, thank you. The other thing too is if we do go to a new federal rate for minimum wage at 15, Neil, will that impact us significantly, or is it just a minor part of our population? Or if anybody's below that rate right now, do you like as far as our maybe our childcare group or whatever? So I don't know how that'll impact us, but I don't need an answer today. But maybe at a future meeting we can talk about that.
Yep, we can add that to a future meeting just in regards to who might be impacted by that and which fund, you know, would it, if it was obviously childcare, would impact the childcare fund. So we can add that for a later meeting.
Okay, great. Okay, that's all I have personally. Anybody else on the board before we close out this item? Okay. Item 11 now is new business. This is a reconfirmation of our extended COVID-19 learning plan. So we need to now take a vote on that, Stacy, to continue for the next 30 days, right?
So this would be the presentation that I gave, just stating that we're doing the same thing that we were doing in January and continuing with our offer of both in-person and virtual learning for all students.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I need a motion.
Motion by Hiller.
Motion by Hiller,
Support Fitzpatrick.
support by Mr. Fitzpatrick. Any questions related to the earlier presentation from the board or any clarifications? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call. Mr. Hiller,
Hiller, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Miss Walsh,
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Mr. Zanetta, yes. Motion carries. That leaves us with item 12, adjournment of the meeting. Need a motion.
This is Hiller. I move we adjourn tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Hiller. Need a second.
Walsh supports.
Thank you, Ms. Walsh. Roll call, Mr. Hiller,
Hiller, yes.
Ms. Walsh,
Walsh, yes.
Mr. Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick,
Fitzpatrick, yes.
Mr. Zanetta, yes. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for your attention and support tonight. Thank you, Stacy and Neil and
Thank
everybody.
you.
Appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing everybody face to face